Hey everybody, I just wanted to give you a short video that I found a solution that I think you may find helpful. I have a power washer that was made by Craftsman with a Briggs and Stratton engine that was continuously running, would not turn off, and did some research. There was very little information out on YouTube or the internet. I did find a website that said that if you clean out the dirt and the gunk, in the throttle cable assembly and the linkages springs area, that it probably would come back. But found some sites that talked about switches and how to install your own switch, aftermarket, to cut the power, but didn't want to go through that trouble. So I went through the process of trying to clean out the linkages and the throttle assembly, and once the engine got hot, didn't help. Continued to run at a very low speed, and I knew something was off. So there was a way I knew that the engine had been engineered, or the linkage assembly had been engineered to cut the power, but I wasn't quite sure how until I looked at it a little more, and I hope this video will be helpful. All right, so let's take a look at the engine. So here we have a 09T 702, all right, -0111-B1 engine by Briggs and Stratton. I bought it about 10-15 years ago, and it's been a great power washer for my needs. Just a low usage here of home usage, but didn't want to put a lot of money into repairing it, bringing it to a service company. So did a little research on how engines are cut. How do you turn off? How do you stop an engine? Here you see the throttle assemblies at the rabbit icon, meaning fast. You have it at the turtle, meaning slow, and then you have a stop position. There's no on-off switch to cut the power. And the way these small engines work is there is a magnet that runs in the flywheel assembly that runs past a coil wire, otherwise known as an ignition coil, that generates the spark to the plug that then fires the gas from the carburetor, right? So there is a way, when you cut the power to the spark plug, that is how they turn off the engines. But it wasn't working. I don't know. So what I did was I basically took this apart and I just loosely put it together so you could see it in its basic assembly state. Let me take these off here. Take off the air filter. Right. And here you have your throttle assembly, right? So here is the linkages that are necessary to keep the tension on the automatic choke that the EPA required in the mid-80s. Now there's no more manual adjustments for the air mixture, it's all automatic. But if you look on the underside of this, you'll notice there is a wire. Let me turn it around, I'm having a little trouble here. That is connected to this part here, and that part's called the stop switch. This wire here runs from that stop switch to the ignition coil, otherwise known as a magneto coil, because of the magnet that is tied to the electrical wires, right? And the spinning action on the flywheel. But basically, when the throttle here connects with this brass looking piece, though I don't think it's actually brass, it basically creates a ground, and it grounds out the power that's flowing to the spark plug, thereby cutting off the electrical surge that's firing the spark plug. So all you need to do is either replace this piece here and get a fresh version of this piece that sticks up. And you can see, by the way, if you look at the underside of the throttle assembly, you'll notice the scoring that is in place there from rubbing against this brass looking piece that's sticking up. All right, so either replace this piece and maybe even this piece, right, which you can get from a parts store, or bend this piece up to have better contact. The other quick fix that you might try is to simply, with a flathead screwdriver, while the engine is running and you have it in the off position, making contact here between the throttle assembly and that part, so that it grounds out the spark plug. Okay?
Guys, I'm back by the engine. I put all the parts back together, running it. I'm going to show you what happens when you use a flathead screwdriver to basically connect the switch and ground the spark so that the engine stops. Alright, so let's take a look.
When you put the screw in there, in between here, it cuts the power. Okay, so that's a quick and easy solution for you to consider in order to cut the power if you don't want to go through the trouble. It's a hack, but if you don't want to bend the tab up or replace parts, just use a screwdriver. Okay, now I'm going to restart the machine and just see if my tab bend is enough to keep the engine from continuously running. All right, let's start it up again and give it a shot. All right, got the engine. All right, looks like it's back, and couldn't be happier. The cost, $0. The best fix of all. All right, thanks guys. See ya, bye-bye. So, anyway, I hope you find this helpful, and lots of success cleaning your house and yard. Thanks, bye.